Can you believe this? This is actually happening.
Welcome to Wait, There's More.
Get the skinny with Kim and Sue.
Or Sue and Kim. We haven't figured that out yet.
Yeah. Hey, we're a team no matter what. The name doesn't matter who goes first or what. It's all the same. So welcome. We are so excited.
Oh my gosh, yes. We're getting broken into.
Yes, the dumb
Dogs that want to be in the podcast.
Yep. This podcast is going to be more than just about weight. There's more, because there's going to be a ton more.
Yeah, definitely. We just wanted to introduce ourselves today and kind of lay out the groundwork for how we want this to go, and let the audience decide how far we take it, really, just to see who we connect with.
Yeah, we thought it would be a great way to share our experience with our weight loss journeys. We both had gastric sleeve surgery, except we've done things a little bit different along the way. I'm 15, almost 16 years out post surgery. Kim's just a couple years out, and we just felt like after we lose the weight, what do you do?
Yeah, the maintenance is the struggle, really. There's just so much more after the fact. I mean, whoever's tuning in that has had major weight loss, you took a step in the right direction. You did a great thing for yourself. But I think you can agree, and what we found is there's just no, we'll say, service after the sale. There's just no help. And I'm not saying there isn't support out there, and the surgeon that performed the surgery does have a lot of, material for you, but it just, your follow-ups end at a year. What do you do in year 2, 3, 4, and 5? That you just can't stop. The momentum has to keep going. This huge decision you made has to carry through. Like, it's not over the day you leave the hospital by any means, and it's not over 2 years later or 16 years later. So we just got to talking one day and said, there's somebody else out there that needs help. This can't be just you and I determining our future. So we just wanted to bring you on our journey and kind of, commiserate.
Yeah, share some of our strategies we've used along the way. Me, being almost 16 years out, our bodies change. You go through menopause, and this isn't just for people that had weight loss surgery. This is for everyone, because at the end of the day, no matter how you've lost the weight, you still have to learn to keep it off. So we're all in the same group of learning how to keep it off. And there was never that support system or, hey, the step-by-step things to keep, maintaining the weight loss. And like I said, over the years, I've had to make changes, along the way. And it's all, we just want to share our story, our, realistic approach to keeping it off. And hopefully somebody out there, or your friends, bring them along for the ride, can learn something and get something out of it that may work for you.
Yeah, that was the goal. We've been each other's support just superficially, so we're going to dig a little deeper with that, but also wanted to put it out there to the public. So like I said, we know there's plenty of you out there struggling. Some days you just need that little, 30-second push to get you over the edge. For me, I stalled out for like a solid year, and I was just lost. And really didn't have anybody to talk to. So, we're hoping nobody else has to go through that, and we can find a way to kind of close that loop and create the support, that makes it isn't out there.
So today we're going to kick things off, and Kim and I are going to share a little bit of our own stories. It'll be short and sweet. And with that, I'm going to ask Kim first. Why don't you go ahead and tell me a little bit about yourself and maybe how we met?
Yeah, true. So coincidentally, we're both Marine Corps wives. That usually instantly connects people, which it did for us. But for me, I met my husband on the back 10 of his career. So I was like an older, Marine the early years I wasn't exposed to, but still a really fun experience. I mean, I left Pennsylvania, went to California, had our first child there, made so many friends, and hopped around until we landed here, where I was selling aluminum, and Sue worked for a company that was buying aluminum, and we just instantly connected, as you always do when you run into someone that was, following the Marine Corps men around.
Yes.
So not how that happened, but yeah. So yeah, I think as women and men, but we're always trying to better ourselves. At the time, I was struggling with my weight, and I instantly admired, where you were at, and I was like, how did that happen? So then we just got to talking about the surgery. And then when I really pursued the surgery, I sought you out and said, hey, just kind of give me some feedback on that. And, I think you were very positive about it. And I think that helped me. Had you said it was the worst experience I ever had, don't do it, it would have been a different story.
Yeah.
But, then the more we got to talking, we realized we definitely need help after the fact. So
Yeah, definitely. So what made you decide to have the surgery?
just I had failed at so many different avenues, as I'm sure most of you out there. And that's actually for our insurance, that was one of the requirements. Like, you can't get this until you have failed these other things. So
Yes.
I tried, I mean, gosh, I had tried Weight Watchers a million times, just like Leanne Morgan. That's one of her big jokes, is that they don't limit you to how many times you can join. I couldn't tell you how many times I did that. And other, weight loss, LA weight loss, anything that you could pay for, and then Facebook came around and so many things came up in my feed. I've done like the wall yoga Pilates, I've done V-Shred, P90X. Do you remember that one?
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Oldies but goodies.
Yeah. And, after here I am, I had my thyroid removed, which I think was kind of, a turning point for me, that I never thought it was a weight loss option. I had other issues with my thyroid. I had a family history of cancer. And I remember the doctor said to me, like, this isn't going to make you lose weight. Like, that's not what the thyroid's doing for you right now, or not doing. And I said, oh, totally. That wasn't my goal. But after having that surgery, I was like, I don't want to do surgery again. To be that person. But I was so miserable. I was so unhappy with myself. Really, truly felt like I was at my wit's end, and that there really was no other option out there. I had tried and failed, and truly, at the moment, was successful, whether it was the keto diet. I think that was the one I was the most successful with. I was on phentermine, everybody's been on, and that was after one of them went away. But it worked. And then I learned that your body like memorizes it, and it didn't work anymore. So I think I tried phentermine 3 different times. And each time I lost less and less. I did the shot, I think Wegovy, when it first came out. And I had only lost like 7 pounds. And even the doctor was like, this is just really odd. Like, you should be losing more than 7 pounds. And I had a lot to lose, and I was at my heaviest. So that was it. It was like rock bottom for me. And I just felt like that was my only option.
Why do you think it's important now that you share your journey with others who may be struggling with their own weight loss and maintenance?
Well, so first and foremost, just because I wouldn't want anybody, even my worst enemy, to feel like I was feeling, that cliche. I wouldn't, wish this on my worst enemy. And truly, I don't want anybody else out there getting so far to the rock bottom. If I thought I could have saved them that grief,
Yeah.
I don't think you have to hit rock bottom to be successful.
Yeah.
And I think the world we live in, mental health is such a huge issue, and just like mindset, which we'll get to, because I know we talked about this before. If my mind was in the right place, I could have done this a long time ago.
Yeah.
So I think, my journey really didn't start till age 50 because my mind just wasn't ready yet. I wasn't grown up enough to figure all this out. And I think there's people out there that really need to not struggle so much, and I just want to kind of get them out of that. All right, next question. Am I asking you the same?
Yes, you might as well.
All right, well then tell us a little bit about you, Sue, your background, your journey.
Well, I am a mother of 4. I have an older daughter from a previous relationship and 3 sons with my current husband, Al, who was a Marine for 24 years and retired in 2021. I decided about 15 years ago, or almost 16, it'll be 16 in November. I was at home raising 3 young boys under the age of 5. And, while, Marines are either training somewhere for weeks on end or they're deployed. And most of the time I was on my own raising the 3 boys. So there was no time I struggled with weight probably since right after high school. And I went through 6 pregnancies in a short span, and I gained I'm way out.
Was that between Jen and the boys?
Yes.
Or before Jen?
This was after Jen. This is after when I married Al, I had gotten pregnant 3 times, 4 times, 5 times. I had 3 live births and 2 miscarriages. So I felt like for 6 years I was huge, like I could never lose weight because I was always pregnant. And after Travis, I suffered the last miscarriage and I ended up having my tubes tied. But then, I was, how am I going to lose all this weight? Exercising wasn't cutting it. Like, what am I going to do with 3 boys? We would always go for walks and I'd get, Mommy, it's too hot, or, oh my gosh, are we almost done? My legs are hurting. I'm tired. So one day we were walking and one of my sons said, look at that fat guy across the street. And the other boy said, well, Mommy's fat. Well, that just crushed me. And after that, I researched weight loss surgeries. I went and talked to a doctor, and he suggested the gastric sleeve because I was so overweight. Having the regular bypass surgery, there's too much movement of like lifting up the stomach and the muscles and stuff, and I was too big for that. Whereas the gastric sleeve surgery, you can have the surgery, lose weight, and then go back and have the bypass. But I had lost 146 pounds my first year. So I didn't need that. But, things that I would have learned after the surgery, too late after the surgery, I would have changed. Like, the excess skin, like nobody told me, hey, you're going to lose weight so fast that you need to like muscle tone as much as possible. Like I would have emphasized more of that in my exercise program, and that didn't happen. I ended up having to have, surgery for that to remove the skin. But, and there are things that, I got away with it not being a cosmetic surgery because my doctors,
it was a health concern.
Yes. And they would write that in my history, my records, medical records, in order for insurance to cover. And a lot of people don't know that. Like, hey, get your doctor, like when you're even thinking about having a surgery, get your doctor to document the rashes and the yeast infections and the smell, all that, because it can be covered by insurance if it's a medical reason.
Yeah.
So I ended up having the gastric sleeve surgery.
Yeah.
And from there, it took off.
And you covered about yourself and how you got there, really, because of the boys and, innocent children and the things they say without realizing
Yes.
it might hurt you.
Yes.
So I guess then the lead into that is, how did that choice impact your life physically, emotionally, and mentally?
I had to change. First of all, I had an uncle that once told me, why did you have that done? You're going to gain it all back. So that right there was my motivation to physically and mentally keep going. Like, I was determined after that comment to just keep going. And
So usually like the negative comments kind of fuel your fire.
yes,
Where some people, I'm sure, and we want to help you too, even if we haven't been through it, that can make you just go curl up in a ball
yes,
and not get motivated.
yes,
We want to get you all out of whatever dark place you're in, whether that's the say retaliation, anger,
like, I'm going to show you.
right, is that healthy? We'll unpack a lot of this later.
Yeah.
There's just so much to talk about, that I think we can all connect on and, feel good about in the end. But we want to keep it to small clips here so we can kind of focus. Because I think even the skin removal and the rashes, I know my sister had a hernia. I mean, and she did end up having a tummy tuck, and it was not cosmetic. That hernia had to go. It was like the size of a softball or something.
Yeah.
But and for you too, then, why do you want to share your journey with others? Why is this important to you? I think we've covered that, but if there's anything else you want to touch on.
I just think, like you said, mindset is the biggest thing. We struggle as women seeing something positive in ourselves. And I think you and I can change that with people, just by listening to our story and, what we've gone through and how it's impacted, not only you and I, but our families and, the positive changes that we've created for ourselves. So I think mindset is probably a big issue.
Yeah. Oh, definitely. I couldn't agree more. I work from home, so I watch TV like on my breaks, and I always kind of run something in the background so I'm not lonely. And it just right when lunchtime starts, The Price is Right is on, and I've always just liked Drew Carey, and he is a big advocate of mental health is health, and we need to change that in our country. And I think that is something else that kind of clicked with me of like, okay, whoa, there's so much more to weight loss than just the weight loss. And for me, it's definitely mindset. So we're going to unpack that one too in another episode and just focus. I think the goal is to bring you a topic every week and just, focus on one thing and unpack that. And we'll probably learn that it's way bigger than we thought it was. But I think for me, the journey is going to continue in this podcast because I think we're going to learn from our viewers too. I have a feeling we'll get comments that we can reply to. But we just kind of want to virtually hold hands and get through this together because, we've learned that it is not a singular thing, whether it's family support or girlfriend support. And hopefully, we can be that for you.
We're so excited.
Yeah.
We'll dive into mindset, fitness, food, family. Here or there, we're going to spruce in maybe a special guest or two to talk about various subjects as well. Maybe even we do have a special guest lined up for November. We're really excited about, and we can't wait to share that news with you. And
Yeah, follow us on all of the socials.
Yes.
And maybe we'll figure out a way to link them at the bottom. I don't even know if we're there yet.
I'll get my husband, who is like a guru at all this, to kind of,
His little call sign is major data, right?
Yes,
Yeah,
yes,
that
yes.
kind of leads to, we do need that help with the technical side of things.
Yeah.
But yeah, maybe we'll get how to put all that up, and through the socials, then you'll get the little teasers of what's coming next.
Yeah.
You know, the special guest, I'm sure he'll agree that it always kind of turns into something else. I'm sure when he went into, well, we'll tease on that, plastic surgery. You know, I don't think he thought he was going to be a longevity coach. Like, so
Yeah.
I'm really excited to find out what. So
Yeah.
yeah, stay tuned. We're kind of like giddy about this because
we're giddy and nervous, and we don't know how this is going to turn out. This is our first attempt, and it can only get better from here, right?
Yeah, I know. We're at the ground level at this point, so hoping to turn this into something really cool.
Yeah, so please reach out to your friends, tell your friends about us. We look forward to our next episode, and we look forward to you following us along.
Yeah, welcome, and thanks for tuning in, and we'll talk to you soon.